Cultural beliefs. The differences between Democrats and Republicans are not just economic. One thing people tend to ignore is that common person, like industrial workers, tend to be a traditionalist and religious, often more so than people with high incomes. The two-party system forces them to vote against one of their class of 2020 quarantine simply. Southern shirt. It screws them over in this way. Pittsburgh itself is a Democratic stronghold and has no steel mills. Its economy is heavily based on the medical center, universities, and banks. It's a bit of a whiter city than most but has a pretty middle-class feeling. But I think a lot of the pro-Trump sentiment comes from the area outside of Pittsburgh. It's worth noting industrial workers tend not to be very and tend toward populist argument regardless of their validity, which I think is most of Trump's appeal. Those same people have watched many of the well-paying manufacturing jobs get sent overseas to virtual slave labor forces in fair trade deals. Class of 2020 quarantine simply Southern shirt, tank top, V-neck, ladies' tee for men and women, tank top, V-neck. Sure, it's been going on for decades. Both sides have been complicit in the erosion of those jobs and technological advancement has done its fair share of damage. The people who've lost those jobs are still madder than a stepped-on snake. The belief that unions have helped chase those jobs away by demanding $50 per hour to push a button plus 100% retirement in 20 years. That we simply cannot compete with third-world labor. They also see the federal class of 2020 quarantine simply Southern shirt. Do they trust that they will be the real beneficiaries? You had one candidate that didn't even campaign in their state versus one that was there every week or 2. You had one person talking about government programs and essentially saying, learn to code, versus, I'm gonna bring these jobs back to you and you'll be tired of winning. Official class of 2020 quarantine simply Southern sweatshirt, hoodie, sweatshirt, hoodie. Not only that, you had one person whose name has come up in scandals since the 90s. Who's come across as a bit of a frigid cunt versus culture from movie cameos to rap songs. As the American dream for 40 years. And on top of all that, you had a pearl-clutching, pandering politician versus a businessman who'd tell it like it is. Tell anyone to get class of 2020 quarantine simply Southern shirt. Politically correct typical campaign jargon. He pissed off all the people they either hate for legitimate grievances or have been wrongly programmed to hate. Own the libs type shit. Fuck the media kinda stuff. Just don't fucking relate to Anderson Cooper. Nor do they particularly trust him or his peers. The more they squirmed, the more middle America cheered. And the media couldn't help but play right into the game. Other products.